thrilled to join in one of our teammates. Joining us, the one, the only Tyrese Haliburton. Welcome back.
What the hell is?
Hey, what the
What's
hell
up, team? What's up, team?
Yes, sir.
We're glad you're here. So much to discuss. Obviously, a little bit about you, but really want to pick your brain on a lot of different things happening around the NBA. But want to begin with some Tyrese. Back in February, you got diagnosed with the shingles. Rick Carlisle called it a unique case and unique situation, which it certainly is. I just want to know, what is it like to have the shingles?
Is it the shingles or is it shingles?
Is it shingles? Yeah.
I think it's just shingles.
Shingles.
I don't think it's shingles. I think it's shingles. It has been so awful. I was on vacation. Coach gave me a couple extra days because I didn't really get a long summer, obviously, with the injury in the finals. So I get on vacation and like day 2, I'm like, I have this crazy headache. And I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on. And so it just never went away. So I was supposed to meet the team in DC. I flew right to Indy because I was like, I got to go see a doctor. And we had all these appointments scheduled for CTs and thought I had these crazy migraines. And he looks at me for 5 minutes. He's like, oh my God, you have shingles. And he's like, this is going to suck.
No.
So then I had a huge rash on my face for like 2-3 weeks. And then that went away. And now it's just been itching and stuff. And you can see I'm kind of missing like part of my eyebrow now. So it has been, it's been no fun.
That was a style choice.
Yeah.
The Nick Van Exel.
We're getting to the tail end though. So it's getting there.
Okay, good. Well, you seem like you're doing well, so I'm happy to hear that.
What do you, I want to ask you, obviously you're getting close to being able to hoop again. We got Jason Tatum returning. Like, what's it like to watch him play, knowing that you're like a few months behind him, so to speak? Like, what's that feeling like for you? What do you see when you see him play? Him trying to come into a team that's really found an identity, like all the combinations of variables that go along with a year out, or for him, 10 months out, and getting back to full steam.
Yeah, I've been so happy watching him play, him and DeJounte, since they've come back. A little jealous for sure, seeing those guys get back on the floor. But man, like, I don't even really pay attention to like their numbers or how well or if they're playing well or not. Just seeing them back on the floor is so cool. Seeing them kind of go through the ebbs and flows of successes and not having success. And, both of them have been really instrumental in me through my recovery. So seeing these guys back on the floor has been cool. And especially with Jason, I look forward to him in a full playoff race, getting a hoop. I'm looking forward to that.
And where are you at? Like, what are you doing on the court? How close do you feel to 5-on-5?
Yeah. So I was like, before All-Star, I started playing 4-on-4. And then after I got diagnosed with shingles, I've kind of had to I kind of have not really done a ton. Like I just started lifting maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So I'll start in the next 2 weeks getting back. Probably as soon as the season ends, I'll be right back to playing 5-on-5 by the end of the season. So in the next couple of weeks. But then the summer is just really instrumental. Be playing a lot of 5-on-5, going to Butler, IU, or Purdue or something to play with those guys, just to have some shake dummies to be prepare me for the year.
That's good to hear.
Hallie, man, I've been waiting on this. It's been a long time coming.
Oh, WrestleMania.
Oh, God. I've been waiting on this. It's been a long time coming. I know you're going to have opportunity to spend some time and go to see WrestleMania 42 is upon us.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Obafemi, Brock Lesnar.
I'll see you guys there.
I should have wore an Oba t-shirt.
Thank you. We go Obafemi. I let Brock Lesnar go a long time ago when he ended the streak of the Undertaker in WrestleMania 30. But WrestleMania 30. So who? In WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar ended the Undertaker streak of winning WrestleMania.
That's crazy.
I
So after that, I was no longer a Brock Lesnar fan. Thank you very much. So you already answered the Obafemi question. CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Who we got?
Oh, that's such a tough question. I'm gonna go with CM Punk, man. I'm gonna go with
Roman
Punk.
Reigns, Hallie.
That's my tribal chief. I'm rocking with both of them, but I'm gonna go with Punk for this one.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree on that one, but I appreciate you, man, because they treat me real bad over here. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield. I don't get no respect. When I start talking about wrestling, they just completely cut me off.
Yeah, I love that.
Don't worry, get my number, UD. We can text about it whenever you want, man.
Got you.
Hallie, who's your MVP this year? Walk us through a little bit.
Yeah, I see there's been a lot of conversation about it. I think if I had a vote, it would for sure go to Shai for back-to-back. But I think what Wemby is doing in San Antonio is amazing. So I don't want to take away from that. But I would vote for Shai. But I see, the campaign that's going for him, and it's within well reasoned. But I would definitely vote for Shai.
You know, Tyrese, you are one of the players. You obviously have a great relationship with the media. You understand the mechanisms of the media. I would love your take on Wemby being on the podium, being asked about MVP, and giving us his reasons as to why he should win. How do you feel about players really advocating for themselves, but also the idea that a lot of the time it works?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, honestly. I think if we don't fight for ourselves, who's going to do it, and I think he's proven, with the year he's had, that he's definitely MVP worthy, and he's a rightful candidate for that. So I'm not mad at him at all for that. I understand. I get how some people might have different opinions of it, whether that's positive or negative. But honestly, I'm not mad at it. And I think that's where our league is headed, where it's been headed for a long time. You see guys, this is how it usually works. When a guy goes before the season, he says, I want to beat all defense this year. Magically, he's just getting all defense votes. That's how our league has worked, I feel like, since I've came in the league. So I'm not surprised by it, and it's not anything crazy. And I do think it has opened people's eyes. I think people see that and they're like, oh, he might actually have a real argument. So I'm not mad at him for it. If I was in the same shoes, I'd probably do the same thing. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie.
I got two questions. Sorry to monopolize this, and they're different. First one, I want to know your take on 65 games rule, but I also really want to know if Coach Carlisle talks any trash about Dirk, has any great Dirk stories. Like, what's Coach talking when he thinks about the big fella?
65 game rule.
Well, to answer the second part of your question, I think a lot of our during the playoff run, you heard a lot of Dirk stories. You heard a lot of Mav stories, right? Because of the run they went on was very.
Yeah, but those are good stories. We want the bad stories.
Yeah. Well, I get them all. I get all the Dirk, J Kidd. I get all those stories all the time when he sits me down. So I'm very appreciative of those. But I think to answer your 65 game rule question, it's interesting. I have an interesting opinion on it because I was a part of the first year of the 65 game rule. I was the first year that it affected our contracts. And if you guys remember, I had a big hamstring injury that I came back early from, and I got hurt again. And then I kind of fought back. I ended up playing, I think, 67, 68 games. So I barely made it. Obviously got the Supermax that year. But I came out that year and I said, this rule is stupid. And I hated it. And I actually met with Commissioner Silver that year after that, or during that year when we were in New York, and the conversation revolved a lot around, this is something that's only going to affect so many people in a year financially from the Supermax and things like that. But I think that this is something that is going to change. I think that I thought this when Wemby got hurt early in the year. I thought if anybody could force the change, it would be him. And unfortunately, Cade is going through this right now. And Ant's been battling some injuries, some different guys who are very close when it comes to those numbers. But I think that, we'll adjust. Our league, we adjust as time goes on. They tried to make a change. And if you go look at when they first put the tweet out of, hey, they're changing the 65 game rule, I'm pretty sure majority of people were like, the NBA just made a great decision. And now they're taking that back. And I think that's part of it, though. Like, you got to try different things and see what sticks and what works. And unfortunately, I don't think it's worked. I think we need to change it. And if voters aren't smart enough to think like, hey, this guy is all NBA worthy and he hasn't played 65 games, then that's on them. We got to get better voters in there. But I think that it definitely needs to probably go away for good and let our voters be smart enough to make those decisions.
I got to say, I do agree with everything that you're saying, but much of this narrative has turned on, okay, the voters have to be smarter, which obviously they do. But this was more so instituted for anti-tanking.
Yes.
Like, this was about the decisions that front offices and leadership were making about these players to be in. So I think that the voters get a lot of heat about this. But it's not necessarily why.
You got to vote?
Hey,
that's what I'm about to say.
Of course you got to vote.
Let's just let the cat out of the bag here. You have a vote? Okay. Now we get down to the bottom of it.
We're getting some unfair stuff. This was something that was decided upon in the CBA. It should be changed. I agree with you. But it isn't all about.
Hallie, what would you do? Would you take it away? Would you go down to 62, 60? What would you do?
I just think if you go down to 62, 61, 60, there's always going to be a case.
Someone's going to have a case.
We're going to fight about it. So I think that you just have to get rid of it and allow the voters
Common
to
sense.
allow the voters to make those decisions and figure it out that way. Because no matter what we bring it down to, if we bring it to 60, there's going to be a star who plays 59 games and he's mad that he has to play 60. So like, I just don't think it necessarily needs to be a rule. And I think the big part is like, I feel like this rule was instituted for specific players that the league was mad at the time, or that certain guys. And I think that we've seen as time goes on, those guys, whoever those are, they weren't doing this for a reason of like, I don't want to be on the floor. They're taking care of themselves. And I feel like as those guys are getting older and a lot more younger guys in our league are taking those positions of being those all NBA guys and being those all-stars and taking those awards, like we want to play, like, and that's something that we talked about all the time. Like the young guys and most of the guys in the NBA want to be on the floor. It's just, you can't always control it. So I think that you just have to get rid of a number and allow the voters to make those decisions.
Yeah. Sorry, last one for you. I said this to start the show, but I am the only person here who has a team still left in March Madness. Illinois is playing Iowa today, which I feel like that means you should be rooting for us, right?
I'm with you, Taylor. I'm with you all the way.
There we go.
Sure.
We need you on our side.
Yeah, we got smacked last night. It was bad. I never turned the game off early. It was like 5-6 minutes. I went to bed so mad last night. It's very stressful here in March.
Listen, I had to watch my team press up too and give up a corner three.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, UD, what was that, UD? What was that?
Hallie, I'm still trying to figure it out. I lost sleep over that. I don't understand that.
In the possession before, they tried to ISO and they couldn't score. So why wouldn't you just be solid and make him do it again?
Exactly. We got to stop the possession before just being solid.
Do you guys ever watch college basketball and you're just like angry? Like
yes.
I watch college basketball and like it's like some like strong side help is like there's no like help principles. I feel like in college basketball, they just like, oh, somebody's driving the paint. I have to run in there and help.